Alright guys, so I'm going to quickly go over a couple of different mobility exercises that you can incorporate into your training. Again, I would use these in your spare time as such. So again, these aren't things you're necessarily going to do for fat loss and so forth, but what they are going to do is enable you to move better, to move freer, which enables you to sprint better, sprint freer, and ultimately get more return from those sprint workouts, which will lead eventually to greater fat loss results and so forth. Alright, so again, if you have the time, if you have the desire, you're not looking to be an Olympic sprinter or anything like that, but if you have the time and you have the desire to improve, to work upon your mobility, I suggest that you do so several times a week. You don't need to spend too long doing it. I'd prefer you to do maybe 10-15 minutes a day, every day, or 6 days a week or something like that, as opposed to doing just a 1 hour, 90-minute session once a week. Okay, so just work it in as much as you can. You don't need to do it in a gym. You can do it at home using minimal equipment, as you will see. You just need a little bit of space, and you can use some household pieces of equipment and furniture and so forth to get the job done. Alright, so we're going to start from the top and work our way down. We're looking at shoulder mobility, hip mobility, ankle mobility. Alright, so we're going to start from the top and work our way down. First exercise I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to use a dowel. You can do this standing, but I'm going to do it from a kneeling position using the pillow for a bit of padding. So take a dowel or a broomstick, one hand on each end at the edge. What I'm going to do is draw circles around my head. I'm going to do both directions. Right arm coming across the body and around the head. So I'm leading with my right arm, bringing it across the body and then around the head. I'll stop and I'll lead with my left arm across the body and around the head. So I'm bringing my left arm across the body and around my head. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to keep my trunk, my upper body and so forth stable and not rotating. Alright, so I'll do 10 to 15 repetitions in each direction. Next exercise then, I would come down onto the ground, pull my knees forward, lying on my side, pull my knees forward, drop my top foot in front of the bottom foot so I have a heel-toe action. This is going to lock me in and block this hip from dropping backwards as I reach across the body. So from here, I'm going to follow this hand with my eyes stay focused on the ceiling, and this hand here reaches towards the ground. Hold and then come back. Reach over and come back. Okay, so I'll do anywhere from 6 to 10 repetitions each side. So chain slides, knees stacked, top foot dropped in front of the bottom foot, heel to toe action, hands together, head relaxed. Reach across, eyes on the ceiling and come back. So hold this position for a 5 count and come back. Just trying to avoid letting this hip. What you don't want to do is this. See where my knees have come apart and my hip has dropped backward, okay? So keep those knees together, drop that top foot down, lock it into place, preventing this hip from dropping backwards. Alright, so again, maybe 6 to 8, 10 max repetitions per side, hold in the stretched outreach position for maybe 5 seconds or so. Next exercise then, we'll use the wall. We'll do a snatch grip wall squat. Again, the better mobility you have, the closer to the wall your feet can be. What you're going to do, spread your feet apart, fairly wide stance, wide position with your hands, eyes forward, chin slightly down, squat down and back up, making sure you maintain hand contact with the wall at all times. The better mobility you have, as I said, the closer to the wall you can get. Keep your chest up, eyes forward, chin slightly tucked, hands on the wall throughout. Okay, so again, maybe 10 to 15 repetitions. Alright, move closer to the wall as mobility increases over time. Now, next exercise then we would have overhead squat. So we're going to take the dowel, again, position it overhead, take our squat stance. Eyes forward, chin slightly down, chest up, nice and tall. Drop down into a squat position. As we squat down, we should have the mobility to keep that dowel over and behind the head, alright? So that when in the bottom squat position, you should look, and from the dowel, you should be able to draw a straight line through the dowel, through my body, out through my ankle, okay? What most people will do, they won't have the mobility at the shoulders and the hips, and they'll end up forward like this with the bar, the dowel out in front of them, okay? So, again, dowel overhead, behind the head, eyes forward, chin tucked, chest up, and down into your squat, okay? So that's an overhead squat, so you can see with different types of squat variations. We have the wall squat, snatch grip wall squat, overhead squat. Now we're going to have the overhead lunge. So we're going to take our dowel, overhead position, big lunge step forward and push back. Again, tall through the chest. Okay. That's the last exercise now we need the dowel for in this sequence. Next exercise then would be a lunge and reach. Again, some of these exercises can be incorporated into warm-ups. So with the lunge and reach, you're just going to take a lunge and step forward, reach overhead, straight overhead with the opposing arm. So if I lunge with my left, I reach with my right. And again, with that reach, you want to make sure that you have almost your bicep to your ear. Alright, you want to have the mobility to be able to get it here and not be out here with it. Okay? So that's lunge and reach. Next one then is a Spiderman lunge with rotation. So you're going to lunge forward. I'm just going to demonstrate on one side, but obviously you would do both sides of the body. You could do one side at a time, or you could alternate each repetition. So you're going to lunge forward, drop down, the same side arm comes inside the foot, back knee is soft towards the ground, and then reach up, straight up with this arm, eyes focused up on the hand, come back and push back, upright. So lunge forward, drop down and in, reach up, eyes on the hand. What you can do here, the back of this arm is push out slightly against this thigh, open up the hips, and come back. One more repetition. So lunge forward, drop down, drop the hand down, push on the thigh, reach up, eyes on the hand, and come back. Alright, so that's a Spiderman lunge with rotation. Next exercise then, we would have is a knee drive to the wall. Okay, so I'm just going to place my back knee on a padded surface onto the pillow. Front knee forward, couple of inches, I want the foot a couple of inches away from the wall. I'm going to take my back foot around the shoelace area, chest up nice and tall, pull this heel in towards your back side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive this front knee towards the wall. I want to keep this foot flat, I don't want to lift off the heel. So drive this in, let my upper body come with me, and then I'm going to feel a big stretch along this quadricep and through the hip flexor on this side. Okay, I'll show on the opposite leg. I need to move back just a little bit. I'm too close to the wall. So again, get into your position. Okay, so knee drive to the wall for the hips. So again, make sure you have good body alignment. I was a little bit twisted. I was thinking about the camera being to my left, so I was rotating that way just a little bit. So keep yourself squared on, nice and forward. Come back away from the wall so you can keep that front foot flat on the ground, okay? Next one then, fairly similar. It's going to be a knee drive to the wall for the ankle, okay? So what you're going to do here is put your foot up, elevated on the wall slightly, and then from here, drive the knee towards the wall, hold, and then come out. Drive the knee towards the wall, and come back. Now you can do these driving the knee straight ahead, the knee slightly out towards your baby toe, or the knee slightly inward towards your big toe. So this will be outward, straight, and inward. Okay, so again, just start off with the straight ones, and eventually you can progress and incorporate outward, inward, straight ahead. And just make sure the movement is outward and inward is only a small component, you know. Don't send your knee flying out laterally too much. Alright, and then just control the movement. So just raise the foot up ever so slightly onto the wall. So there's two different types of knee drives, one for the hip, one for the ankle. Alright, so let me see what else we have got going on here. Okay, so that's all for this one. I'm going to do a few hurdle mobility drills for the hips in a separate video, but that's the end of this video.